we shall never know peace. At least when it comes to the WNBA space. It was this ad that Angel put out. And I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places. But because of where the WNBA All-Star Game is, and because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA All-Star Game, it's going to raise some eyebrows.
Angel Reese walked into the spotlight like it was custom built for her, only to find the lights fading, the crowd gone, and the curtain already dropped. The real twist? She believed she could mirror Caitlin Clark's magic. But it wasn't through elite skill or genuine star power. It was by standing close enough to catch the glow, as a proximity to greatness could replace earning it. Comment below, baby goat over baby giraffe. If you're riding with Cece, let's roll.
Angel me-bound prayer Reese. You only relevant because you keep bringing up my precious Cece. You want to pull up with your Billboard Reebok ad in Indiana talking about you in her trap. Man, stop it. You out of there. You hear me? My precious Cece don't be in no trap. Real talk. You hear me? At the end of the day, she don't do those type of things. Yes. You hear me? Don't put that on. Don't put that with her name at the end of the day. If you be in a trap, that's your business. You hear me? Whatever the case may be, that ain't nothing to be proud.
The 2025 WNBA All-Star Weekend was supposed to be Angel Reese's grand debut, her moment to break free from Caitlin Clark's shadow and claim center stage. At least, that's the story she told herself. With a Reebok signature shoe ready to drop, a flashy I'm in your city campaign, and plans to flip Indianapolis, Clark's backyard, into her own playground, everything seemed lined up for takeover.
Everyone with credit card debt is lining up to get the Angel Reese signature shoe. Here it gives you the power of the me-bound. Bang! Again! Burn! Will she save it? No! What everyone's paid to see, the Angel Reese rebound. Bang! Kelsey Plum makes the shot, she'll get more money. Bang! We show up and show out for our rebounding queen. Yes! Bang! I love rebounds. Yes!
Hey, Jimmy, did you see that last rebound? It was so sick.
Yes, she did it again. Rebound!
Let's talk about the sneaker in the room, the Angel Reese one. Reebok rolled it out in two colorways, Diamond Dust and MI Bounds, touting it as a future of women's basketball footwear. They went all in, plastering All-Star Weekend with ads and timing the MI Bounds drop for maximum visibility. But here's the thing, visibility isn't the same as impact. And when the timing misses a moment, all that hype turns into a very public misstep.
Literally, debut. It's got to be when she plays Caitlin Clark. So they obviously ended up debuting at All-Star Weekend because Caitlin didn't play when they were in Chicago, and Caitlin didn't play. Or Caitlin's not playing in this game, so they're debuting at All-Star Weekend. The plan was to literally go and use Caitlin Clark for the launch.
At the core of Reese's strategy was one crucial and deeply flawed assumption that Caitlin Clark's all-star presence would bring in massive eyeballs, which would naturally spill over into sneaker sales. Instead of winning fans through her own performance or presence, Reese banked on proximity. The plan wasn't to outshine Clark or even compete. It was to ride the wave of someone who already owns a spotlight and hope the glow was contagious.
One of those things where it's like it's very clear that one side is absolutely trying to milk whatever rivalry there is. Whatever rivalry there is, it is one side trying to do everything they can to keep it together, because that is where they're going to be at their most.
But fate had other plans. Just before the All-Star break, Clark went down with a groin injury, sidelined and stuck watching from the bench in street clothes. And with her absence, the WNBA lost the one thing it could least afford to lose, its main attraction. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player. She's an event. She can turn a routine midweek matchup in a small market into must-see TV. Without her on the floor, the buzz vanished almost instantly.
But there is the part of me that's like, is this really necessary? And shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or even, insinuating some sort of attachment to Caitlin Clark? Because if I'm being honest about it, people say that moment, and that moment was huge. It will live forever. That moment will live forever. But Caitlin Clark was on this trajectory already. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from an attention standpoint.
And the numbers were brutal. In 2024, with Clark on the court, the All-Star Game shattered records. 3.44 million viewers tuned in. It wasn't just a game. It was a cultural moment. But fast forward to 2025, and with Clark sidelined, viewership plummeted to 2.19 million, a staggering 36%.
So the WNBA's All-Star Game went down 36%. That is a lot. That's more than a third from last year. Last year was over 3.4 million people, and it went down to 2.1. Now, you could say is a success. Yeah, for women's sport, that is still a lot of people. But at the same time, it really isn't a success, because think about it. It's the only sport playing. It's the only game that's going. And you only could draw that. So, and this is with all the stars, remember.
Here's a refined and punchier rewrite. Reese had to watch her entire campaign fall apart in real time, nearly half its value gone overnight. Not even scalpers could move the hype. The harsh truth? Fans weren't showing up for an all-star event without the one star they actually came to see.
The WNBA All-Star Game ratings have come out, and all I could think of right off the bat was 4 little letters. F-A-F-O. F around and find out. You bleep around and find out what this league looks like without Caitlin Clark being involved in your biggest events. Kathy Engelbert, this should be a perfect example of why you need to get your officiating cleaned up, and you need to have a talk with your players in the league.
Nothing captured the misstep quite like Reese's tone-deaf I'm in your city campaign. The premise was bold, borderline arrogant. She plastered Indianapolis with messaging that read more like a territorial takeover, as if she were staking claim to someone else's kingdom. But here's the problem. Clark wasn't even playing. She couldn't defend her city because she was
Angel Reese All-Star Weekend Edition! How about it? Let's get it! Hey, you know what they say? 4 is more. Bang! Her loyal fans showed out in Indy, all 4 of them, and somebody's drunk uncle. Take a look at what unemployment looks like. Bang! What do you mean you didn't watch the All-Star Game? You're telling me you have a social life? What? What's butter pecan mean? It's provocative. It gets people going. Butter pecan! Bang!
The campaign blanketed the city. Billboards, digital ads, polished videos, and bold captions, all pushing a message of dominance. Reese went all in on Instagram, posting reels tag I'm in your city and flexing lines like walk in your trap, take over your trap. It had the swag of a takeover, but there was no resistance, no challenge, no crown to snatch. What was meant to be a power move ended up feeling more like an empty performance on an abandoned stage.
You can barely dribble. You miss layups on purpose, and they record them as me-bounds. Rebounds. You be stat padding. You don't elevate your players. You went to a stacked LSU team. You hear me? My precious CC owns you. You want to know the record? She is 5-2 against you. You beat her in college one time. That championship. But what happened to the year after that? She sent you home. You hear me? And waved to your coach. You hear me? At the end of the...
And the fans weren't buying it. Not even close. Social media exploded with criticism. One user tweeted, "She can't even sell a shoe without piggybacking off Caitlin Clark." Another joked, "More photographers and fans at this launch. LOL." The whole campaign felt like celebrating a win by default, claiming victory over someone who wasn't even in the game. That doesn't make you a champion. It just makes you look desperate.
WNBA All-Star Weekend is supposed to be the star of all stars. All the big dogs is out. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, everybody's out. The big dogs are out. You got the rookie, you got Angel Reese, Miss Me Too. All of the stars are here. And look at this news. The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48% from $121 to just $64 after news broke that Caitlin Clark won't be playing.
Let's take a step back and break it down. Angel Reese had everything lined up for a breakout moment at All-Star Weekend. She was in Indianapolis, the supposed queen of the moment. Her Reebok signature shoe was dropping. The city was plastered with her billboards. Her social media team was firing on all cylinders. The marketing machine was running full throttle. And yet, nothing. Crickets. No buzz. No real excitement.
And sent a blatant message. A shot across thou bow. All right? And your ship, well, without Caitlin Clark, the WNBA and all their pay us what you owe us action, that action will sink. That action will sink. Woo! WNBA All-Star Game sees ratings drop without Caitlin Clark, and it's ugly. It's real ugly. Who is
The WNBA tried to spin the fallout with a slick PR move, pointing to the 2025 All-Star viewership and comparing to the 2023 number of 850,000 as a supposed win, conveniently ignoring the massive 2024 figures when Caitlin Clark was the undeniable star. But everyone saw through that smokescreen. What they were really admitting. Without Clark, the league slipped back into niche status. Back to pre-relevance levels of interest. Need more proof? Look at the Friday night events. The three-point contest and skills challenge drew 1.32 million viewers, nearly double the previous year. But
there's no comparison between y'all two. You hear me? And she has a $28 million Nike deal. Nike is better than Reebok last time I checked. And Angel Reese, last time I checked, you said Indianapolis was racist and they was dangerous. Why did you show up? Because you could have just watched from the crib. You hear me? So let me tell you this. Please stop associating my precious CC with the trap. She don't know what a trap is. At the end of the day, she might know what a rat trap or mouse trap is, okay? But anything else other than that, please do not. No, we not gonna do.
The real problem for Angel Reese wasn't just bad timing. It was a fundamental misunderstanding of how star power works. She looked at what Caitlin Clark had, sold-out shoes, a blockbuster Nike deal, endless headlines, and thought, I can do that too. She saw Clark's Nike Kobe 5 Pro drop sellout in under 60 seconds, with resale prices soaring past $600 on a $190 retail shoe, and assumed she could replicate that demand. But here's what Reese didn't get. Caitlin Clark's brand isn't built on logos or hype. It's built on owned loyalty. Fans don't show up because of flashy ad campaigns. They come because they believe in her. Clark earned that trust through years of...
One of his genius decisions was this. Signing her, Angel Reese. If you don't know who she is, she's the queen of like fish out of water going after a rebound that she shot herself and can get in the net ever. She reminds me of a 3-year-old shooting on those little kids' nets and throwing the ball and just completely missing the mark and like scampering back to get the ball and then shooting again real fast and it just doesn't come anywhere near the hoop. That is, if you haven't seen her play, that's what it is. Put that image here, that is her.
Even Reebok's own execs seemed to understand the underlying problem. In the Netflix docuseries Power Moves, featuring Shaquille O'Neal, there was a revealing, if awkward, moment. Shaq was caught saying that Angel Reese needed to be dressed head to toe in Reebok, especially when facing off against Caitlin Clark. Translation? Her brand only shines when Clark is in the frame. It was a brutal truth. Rather than positioning Reese as a standalone star, Reebok was openly strategizing how to make her relevant by aligning her with the very player she's constantly compared to. That kind of behind-the-scenes commentary shatters the illusion of independence. It wasn't about elevating Reese. It was about piggybacking off Clark's spotlight. By the time Sunday night rolled around...
Man, look, I don't know what the Reese was thinking. She wanted her shoe that just came out a couple months ago that cost $1,000. Now, look, I'm all for athletes getting their shoe, getting a shoe deal, having their design, specified, perfect shoe that's significant to them and to other fans. But $1,000 for a shoe, I love you. I really do. But you definitely been on some shit. Like lately. I'm not going to lie to you. You have. But $1,000.
By then, the damage was done. Reese had tried to turn All-Star Weekend into a personal commercial, banking on TV ratings and clock-fueled hype to boost her shoe launch. But instead of fireworks, she got a cold dose of reality. Viewership dropped, enthusiasm dipped, and her aggressive I'm in your city messaging came off less like a power move and more like a campaign of desperation. This wasn't just a marketing misstep. It was a full-blown exposure of how deeply misunderstood true influence can be. Caitlin Clark doesn't attract fans because she's marketed well. She's marketed well because fans are already drawn to her. That cause and effect matters, and Reese seemed to get it backward. When Clark sells out arenas, it's not because a billboard told people to show up, it's because they were already lining up. When her shoes disappear in seconds, it's not thanks to a flashy rollout. It's because her audience feels genuinely connected to her journey. Reese's all-star strategy proved she missed that entirely. She thought she could manufacture Clark-level demand with slick...
He is so bad that when Caitlin Clark and her were supposed to face off against each other the other week, the ticket sales went down from $100 to like $5 because Caitlin Clark got injured. She had a quad injury, so she wasn't playing. So guess what? No one wanted to go watch. And if you don't know Caitlin Clark, she's pretty much the GOAT of the WNBA and is the reason why people are watching. No one watches you, Angel Reese. No one watches you. The only thing that I enjoy watching is all the clips on TikTok of you just countlessly just missing every shot that you...
Angel Reese walked into the spotlight like it was custom built for her, only to find the lights fading, the crowd gone, and the curtain already dropped. The real twist? She believed she could mirror Caitlin Clark's magic. But it wasn't through elite skill or genuine star power. It was by standing close enough to catch the glow, as if proximity to greatness could replace earning it. Comment below, baby goat over baby giraffe. If you're riding with Cece,